And welcome back. In our last video, we went over the event, the Rising, and we did the actual quest for the event in order to get the rewards for the year. In this video, we will be going over one of the items that you unlock after doing those quests, which is the Letter Forest. When you finish the quest, you get the option to talk to the Letter Forest tender. It was right here behind me. And you will be able to talk to them and read letters from the development team, different people on the FFXIV team. It does not say who they're from. It just gives general description and gives a message from them. So this time we'll be reading them out and telling, what kind of person they're from. We will not know who for sure. You can take your guesses, but there's no guarantee you know who they are, because it does not always say. Now, we have our friend Artemis right here. We will have her wave a hello. Since we are over here, if you remember in our last video, you needed to come to the Gold Court in Ul'dah in order to see the Wandering Minstrel, because he said he was needed there, and some of the quests also take place here. Well, when you get done, the person not too far from the minstrel is the Letter Forest tender. So that's who you need to talk to do this. There's no cutscenes really, you can just read some letters. So you don't need to worry about going anywhere, you'll be right here the whole time. And this isn't really a quest per se, it's just something extra that you can do to enjoy the event. So Letter Forest tender, they are marked with the 10th anniversary logo, because it is the 10th anniversary. And again, thank you so much to Yoshi P and the rest of the team for creating this game, bringing it back from the brink of destruction essentially, and making it what it is today. So let's see what kind of messages we have today. Greetings and welcome to the Letter Forest. Displayed here are messages of gratitude and encouragement which folk the realm over have anonymously written. It comes as no surprise, but no few messages are addressed to adventurers. If you wish to peruse some letters, I shall be pleased to guide you. Oh, and then we get a list here, and we can just go down the list and just read each one and see what's going on. It says, what will you read? Well, let's just start at the top. A letter from a message board keeper. You have a little bit of a cutscene. It does just show you looking around. Do go around and check out the decorations, because they go through so much trouble to decorate the cities. Each city will be decorated a little differently. Ul'dah being the main focus of this holiday, it does have the most decorations. But the other cities will have some decorations as well in different areas of the town, if not off and on throughout the whole town. So if you get a chance, go look around, because they are quite nice. I mean, the only time you see them is during this holiday. So let's see here. Letter from a message board keeper. Many years have passed since we installed a message board on an unassuming street corner. To see it continue to be utilized by adventurers fills me and my fellow keepers with pride. Like a lodestone, the message board draws people together, and it is our hope that it keeps serving you well as a means to share information. For our humble part, we shall endeavor to maintain the board in good repair while bringing you news that may be of interest. With best wishes, a message board keeper. And that's what each letter basically is. And when you get done, the list comes back up and you can go on to the next letter. Let's see. A letter from a choreographist. As a choreographist, my job is to create movements that convey specific emotions, such as a dancer's performance or a mammoth's adorable gesture. And though I have the honor of contributing my expertise to etiquette manuals, movement cannot be tangibly preserved in the manner that artwork such as paintings can. From the mesmerizing flutter of fabric to the inviting springiness of booze, it all passes by in an instant. In light of this, if but one of my steps or flourishes occupy a place in your memory, then nothing would make me happier. Movingly yours, a humble choreographist. Next up, we have a letter from an etiquette manual writer. Letter from an etiquette manual writer. One lazy afternoon, as I stood by the Aetherite Plaza, I found myself absorbed by the sight of adventurers whiling away their time. Greeting friends who were passing by, practicing a newly learned dance, sitting on a bench and chatting. Opening umbrellas when it began to rain, tucking a loaf of bread when they were peckish. To the untrained eye, they were doing naught out of the ordinary. I, however, saw the fruits of my life's work, and it warmed my heart. Dreaming of a day when proper social etiquette is practiced by all, be it in a ballroom or otherwise, I shall continue my quest to edify. Courteously yours, an etiquette manual writer. A letter from a theater set designer. Letter from a theater set designer. Dear adventurer, I am a theater set designer, and one who is said to have a penchant for designing unusual props for the stage. Some of my labors of love, it thrilled me to discover, have caught your eye to become little companions that follow you around, or even modes of transportation. To see my creations for the stage delight you off it, even the oddest ones, delights me in turn, and further motivates me in my craft. In hopes that I can continue to delight you all, I will endeavor to create ever more interesting props. Yours in whimsy, a theater set designer. A letter from a festival committee member. Letter from a festival committee member. Dear adventurer, I am a festival committee member in charge of decorating the city during celebrations. While decorations are an oft unremarked part of events, some of you have noticed the little touches we apply, such as stray bombs and romantic snowmen, and it makes our efforts all the more worthwhile. As you continue your adventures, it is our hope that the festive ambiance we create throughout the year will provide you with joy and respite both. Earthfully yours, a festival committee member. Again, I said, take a look at the decorations. I try to all year long. I mean, the design of the game, including the decorations for the holidays, are just so much fun. And again, you only see these decorations during said holidays. And sometimes it's not even the same decorations year after year. So, I mean, the Rising this year, it might not look like this next year. It might not have looked like this last year. You don't know until you find out. If you were playing and you recorded it somehow, you have someone that recorded it, then you can go back and look and say, hey, oh, like these were red last year with white meteors on them. This year they're white with blue and a gold meteor. Wow, it's totally different this year. I know the story each time is different for the holidays. No two holidays are exactly alike, except for the fact they are the same holiday. Like the Rising is the Rising each year, but you don't know what's going to be going on, like this year. So, if you get a chance to look around, just look around at everything. I mean, not just the holiday stuff, but everything in the game. Especially considering in 7.0, we start having serious graphic upgrades coming in. So they're going to be able to do even more. with scenery and things like that. Take it in if you enjoy stuff like that. And if not, just be aware that it's out there and, say, occasional thank you out, to yourself in your room or something. Or maybe if you do a video, say thank you. It looks cool. At this sunset looks cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Something like that. Just so they know we are paying attention. A letter from an architect. Letter from an architect. Recently, my fellows and I have been taking ourselves around the realm, repairing buildings and roads as well as restoring natural landscapes. This we do as part of an initiative to improve quality of life for adventurers. I'll tell you, that goes towards the graphic upgrade. Because it's some of the stuff looks really nice. If you were able to see the fan festival stuff recently, it's starting to look really nice. I want to see Dawn Trail when it comes out and see what they do with it. Yours is a long journey. What little we can do to ease your way, we gladly do. Constructively yours, a humble architect. Again, I will say, thank you to the entire team that works on this game. It is so much fun. I look forward to logging in every time I log in. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. It's fun. I love it. A letter from an artisan. You who are reading this letter, I bid you imagine the countless adventurers who call this world home. I dare say it isn't difficult to do so, for that is reality as it stands. Yet we mustn't take it for granted, for what we have now is the culmination of much hard work by full many souls. Souls including your good self. Adventurers breathe life into this world, each one of you giving rise to a grand tale, and I hope you never forget this. Thank you for taking the time to cast your eyes over these words. Wherever your adventures may lead, may you find happiness. With utmost respect, Nameless Artisan. A letter from a linguist. Letter from a linguist. I first set foot in this land 10 years ago. Since then, I have had occasion to meet numerous fine adventurers like yourself. Many languages exist, and they sometimes act as a wall that divide us. This world, however, is a place where we might transcend that wall and come together in unity. Each and every day, you and yours find various ways to forge bonds. In so doing, you gain access to a new world as seen through different eyes. And that is what makes life endlessly fascinating. As you carry on adventuring, I pray that you will be blessed with many such enriching encounters. Yours in understanding and unity, a humble linguist. A letter from a citizen. Dear adventurer, during the calamity and for a long time afterwards, there was nary a smile to be seen upon faces. Now, however, I often see you and yours walking happily through the city, and it never fails to warm the heart. In my mind, you are the symbols of the new era. No one can say what the future holds, but when I see your smiles, I am reassured that somehow all will be well. Sincerely yours, a humble citizen. A letter from a theater director. to be an adventurer, but in the course of my travels, I developed the urge to recreate for others the sense of marvel that I was experiencing. One thing led to another, and I eventually became a theater director. My role is to produce spectacular theater, and nothing is more gratifying than to receive praise from the audience. For a long time to come, I hope to continue creating memorable adventures to share with everyone. Yours in imagination and wonderment, a humble theater director. A letter from an advertising scribe. As an advertising scribe, I create notices for events and products that you see posted to message boards. Such information isn't exactly essential for adventuring, but I consider it job well done if people are aware of their options, and I'll keep striving to deliver information that may be of interest to adventurers. Thank you always for your kindness and compassion. Communicatively yours, a humble advertising scribe. A letter from a guide. In all things, it's nice to be able to make changes to better suit your taste. But by the same token, the more choices one has, the more difficult it is to decide what to do. We began posting guides on the message board as a way to answer questions from adventurers. Before we knew it, we had surpassed 200 items. We couldn't have kept at it so long without your invaluable feedback. It makes us truly happy when we hear that we could help to solve your problems, even in some small way. Encouraged by your praise and driven by your requests, we'll keep working hard to serve you. Should you have any comments or suggestions, please do not hesitate to reach out. We always appreciate hearing from you. Informatively yours, a humble guide. A letter from a gatekeeper. All who set forth must invariably pass through the entrance, and while most will not spare the place a second thought, we gatekeepers think of naught else, day in and day out. Our solemn duty is to ensure that all adventurers can enter unhindered, and this entails keeping signs in good repair and pesky fiends at bay. We're especially attentive when we throw open all entrances at once following large-scale maintenance works. Inspired by the eager expressions you wear as you set forth anew, we will continue performing our task to the best of our ability. Vigilantly yours, a humble gatekeeper. A letter from a playwright. A stirring story needs a formidable antagonist, one who stands in the protagonist's way and causes them sadness and suffering. When the heroes finally overcome that foe, they will know a joy that is as sweet as their struggles were bitter. Those who shared in that joy will go on to become friends true, their bond transcending age, station, and nations. In order to create such depressing lows and soaring highs, I will strive to conceive of more compelling antagonists. Dramatically yours, a humble playwright. A second. A letter from a theater composer. As someone who composes music for the stage, nothing pleases me more than to hear that you are moved by my work. I am also humbled to receive your words of appreciation for the concerts we hold and orchestrion roles we release. You are my motivation, spurring me to continue composing music that brings the story to life, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yours in the melody, a humble theater composer. Sorry, my nose is itching. A letter from a theater sound designer. From swords slashing to armor clinking, from water running to leaves rustling, I have the pleasure of recreating for the stage the various sounds that can be heard out in the world. Because we have some running water right here behind us right now. It is a challenge and a thrill to produce these sounds, and we draw inspiration from the knowledge they are heard and appreciated by many. However, sounds of a play isn't limited to that which we ourselves create. No, they also encompass those made by the audience and the players. It is a collaboration between us, a joint performance, and it is my hope that we can continue filling the world with sound together. Acoustically yours, a humble theater sound designer. And then that's the last of our letters. Now, each of those are from members of the team. They do not say who. But they always seem to do something like that. They have little messages. One year it was messages in a bottle. And another year you went into a studio and talked to different people that would have represented the dev team. So, yeah, this event is always fun. Again, have fun with the Rising. Do something you enjoy, even if it's run a dungeon. Even if it's sit around your FC house, talking with your friends, talking with your FC mates. Or go sit in Limsa around the Aetheryte and yak with everybody. You know, do something you enjoy while the Rising is on. Enjoy the friends you have because you might not have met them otherwise. And just remember, the team really does care. They try their best day in and day out to try to make this game something we can be proud of. Yeah, it goes both ways. The players try to make sure that, we help new people to make them feel comfortable, make them feel welcome. Yeah, you'll run into bad apples here and there, but don't let it get you down. It could be much worse. Try to do your best, and maybe you'll rub off on other people. Get them to do their best. Or maybe if somebody's new, gently nudge them in the right way to go. Maybe give them advice on some place to go look for their rotation if they're doing something wrong and you know the class really well. Or, if they ask a silly question or what would normally be a silly question, give them a nice answer. Maybe jab at them a little bit, play with them. But, give them the answer they need. They'll enjoy the game more. They'll get to do more. And they'll be like, hey, this ain't so bad. I can do this. And maybe they'll go on to help 5 or 10 other people do their stuff. So you never know. Just enjoy the game however you enjoy it. Just try to be nice to everybody. Don't be mean. Don't be a bully. And the game will be great. Be nice to the devs. Don't fuss at them, be mean to them, bully them or anything. They're doing their best. This is their job. They're in there 8, 9 hours a day, maybe 10. I don't know. But give them some thought. they are trying to make the game a better place to be. It's been 10 years now since they rebuilt it. So, they're working on it. Give them a chance. It'll get better. If you have something that you don't care for or you think could be done better, put in a suggestion. Go to the forum. Put in a suggestion. But be constructive. Try to be as detailed as you can without being boring. And let them know what you want. Because I'll tell you right now, I don't know if it'll happen or not. I was at FanFest this year. And during the live letter, I just happened to shout out something. Because something had irritated me in the game. And I just shouted out, just get it off my chest, make myself feel better. They actually heard somehow and wanted to know what I said. Of course, I was sitting far enough away that I couldn't exactly he heard perfectly, and I didn't want to stand up. I was embarrassed that I was heard. It wasn't anything bad. I just asked for more room to raise animals on the island sanctuary. Because you can only have 20 animals total. And yet, the last update they added 4 more rare animals that would only come up during certain conditions. And I'd love to have them. That is what I think is fun. And, Yoshi himself, in the live letter, took a second and said he would turn it into the team. He didn't know how fast they got it done. But they would look into it. I felt good about that. I was embarrassed to high heaven. But I felt good that I was heard that Yoshi took a second to say, hey, I'll look into it. So that makes me feel good. So, never be afraid. They do give a care as much as they possibly can within human means. And they try to do everything they can. So, you never know. You might be able to affect the game somehow. They might take your advice or something you turn in for an idea. They might use it. I know you have all these contests for hairstyles, weapons, housing items. They get put in the game. People can go in and say, hey, I designed that. They listen to me. That's how much they care about this game. They want the players to be happy. They want the players to enjoy the game. And they put out these messages each year to say thank you. Say, hey, it's hard for me sometimes, but because you pay attention to what I do, even for a moment, it makes my job worth it. And I can go on another day doing my job, even if it's difficult that day because nothing wants to work right. So, hey, enjoy the game however you enjoy it, and have fun, and walk on the light of the crystal. And remember, it's all good fun. Have a good one. Thanks much.